Hi, it's Kim Knight here from The Art of Health, creator of the Emotional Health Transformation series. And I would like to tell you a little bit about this program and why I've created it and who I've created it for. So here's a question. Where do you sit on this scale? Do you find yourself in chronic pain, chronically in pain all day, exhausted every day, all day, at the end of your tether, in overwhelm? Is that where you currently sit in your life? I hope not, but I know that literally thousands of women around the world do, which is very, very sad. And I'm on a mission to help that and to help change that. Or have you not quite reached that place? Are you, maybe you've got some pain, but it's not really chronic and totally debilitating? Are you tired, but you keep going? Do you find yourself on emotional roller coasters? You know, 1 minute you're angry, 1 minute you're sad. You don't really know how to process your emotional energy, and there's ups and downs constantly. Do you find yourself depressed? And do you find yourself stressed? So do you find yourself in this sort of layer of operation? Or would you say that you're sort of neutral and you're just coping and life is okay? It may be a little bit blah, but it's sort of okay. You have good days, not so good days, and you may find yourself saying, well, I'm fine, everything's fine, but nothing's really exciting. You're just sort of trundling along and life is carrying on. So do you find yourself there? Or do you find yourself feeling, yeah, actually, no, I feel pretty good. My health is good. I'm happy. I'm pretty content. I know how to manage my emotions. I know how to manage stress. I know how to understand if I have symptoms, why my body is creating symptoms, and I know what to do about them, and I know how to bring myself back to health. So are you up here? Or are you at the top level where you're really experiencing vibrant health, vibrant happiness, true joy, which just comes from within? It's not connected to whatever is going on the outside. You just feel true happiness and joy within, and that just radiates out of you. You're following your passion, you're following your purpose, you know you're on mission, you can't wait to get up every day to do whatever it is that you're doing. You've got masses of energy, you know how to manage your energy, you know how to manage stress, and you're really in control of your life. So I'd like to ask you, if you had to put yourself at one of these levels, where would you put yourself? Because you see, for many years I was down here in these bottom two levels, and I was here for a while, and then I went down to here, and then eventually I came down here. And I spent 10 years unable to work because I was down here. And I spent thousands and thousands of dollars trying different therapies, looking for solutions, being told we don't know what causes chronic fatigue and you can only deal with depression with medication. And that just didn't fit with me. I just knew there's got to be some answers, and there's got to be other answers apart from going down this medical track. And I'm not saying that that's not right sometimes for people. I'm just saying that it just didn't feel right for me. And to cut a very long story short, over a 20-year period I experienced a lot of chronic illnesses, a lot of chronic health conditions, which then, as I said, that then developed into not being able to work at all. And if you click on my story video, which you can preview even before you've bought this program, I will explain and share my whole story, because I'm not going to go into it in this video, but you can watch that video to hear my story. But basically I spent 10 years searching, well, unable to work, 15, 20 years really overall, searching for answers, and finally finding those answers and learning the enormous connection between stress, emotions and health. Now, Harvard University have said that at least 80% of illness is attributable to stress, at least 80%. And I have to say, from my own personal experience and working with hundreds of clients, I can see that that's absolutely true. But the one missing piece that has not really come out into the general public, if you like, at this point, it's coming slowly, but there's not really a true understanding of the role that emotions play in the creation of illness. So this series is about explaining and sharing and teaching people how to manage stress and how to manage emotions in order to reduce symptoms and to reduce whatever is going on down here. So it may be exhaustion, it may be pain, it may be depression, but to bring oneself back to health. Because my passion is to give people the tools to do it for themselves, to teach them how they can be the masters of their own health. And one of my mottos, if you like, is self-care, a revolution in healthcare. And it is absolutely my driving passion to give people the tools to look after their own health, because there's nothing more empowering than knowing that you have the control to look after your health. So who is this series for? This series is for anybody who might find themselves perhaps in these bottom 3 levels. Or even you might be up here and you just want to understand more about stress and how to manage it and how to manage emotions and move up to the top level. So that's who this series is for. And why have I created this series? Because there's not enough of this information and understanding out there in the world. There are literally thousands of people right now lying in bed. They've been told that there's no real reason for their symptoms and nobody can help them, and they're really in despair. I mean, that's what we could add on here. You know, people are really in a place of despair and hopelessness, which is a horrible place to be, because I've been there. I was there for a long time, and it is not a nice place to be. It feels very lonely, feels very unsupported. And so this information is so important. So that's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I love sharing this information. I love empowering women to take control of their health and happiness. And so what is it? It's an online program that is self-paced. You just log in, it's self-explanatory. You take yourself through the lessons, you watch PowerPoint videos and videos of me talking, and there are exercises to follow along with, and you can download some of the audios and the handouts, and it just paces itself. It runs over a 4-week period, and it just self-paces itself so that you go at a nice gentle pace. And at the end of it, you have a much greater awareness of how to manage your stress and how to manage emotions. And hopefully that should have started to help you reduce symptoms or whatever you're experiencing if you're down here in these 2 bottom layers. And well, the how really and the what is connected. As I said, it's an online program, and you just take yourself through that program. There's also a Facebook forum and support group where anybody who's in the program can join the Facebook forum, and then they can support each other, encourage each other, and I'm in there posting comments and answering questions. So that's how you can be supported as well through this program, because one of the things that I found really common is that people often think, I'm by myself, nobody else is experiencing this, and I'm all by myself and alone. And actually there are so many people, literally hundreds and thousands of people, women around the world feeling exactly the same. You are not alone, you're not going mad, and there are answers to this, even if nobody's told you to this point that there are. So then the last question, when? So when do you want to start making a change? If you're down here, how much longer do you want to continue being down here? Because we can stay down here quite a long time. And here's a tip, and this is something that I had to learn myself, is that it's when we make the decision to change and to have things be different, even if we don't know how, that doesn't matter. We just have to make the decision, I want to change, I want something different. And as soon as we make that decision, there's something magical that starts happening, and the universe literally starts to bring us opportunities that we hadn't seen up until that point. And that was certainly the case for me. I'd been sitting on my couch for 3 months after I'd left work, was diagnosed with chronic fatigue, just getting up, watching a bit of television, you know, couldn't even go and do the shopping. Somebody had to do the shopping for me, and really, you know, not doing much on a daily basis. And one day after 3 months, I just thought, you know what, I am not going to spend the rest of my life like this. I just can't. I mean, where's the joy and excitement in living a life like this? And I just made a decision, and it came with some sort of anger, which is actually really important, because anger is a creative energy. But the problem is that often this anger, because there's a lot of, we're going to talk a lot about anger in this program, is that one of the reasons for all of these symptoms is there's a lot of repressed anger. And anger is a very powerful creative energy, but when it gets stuck and when it gets stagnant inside the body, which literally is in the liver, and we go into which all the different organs where all the emotions are stored inside the body, we go through that in this program. And so I got really angry, and I said, I am not going to live the rest of my life like this. And that was when things started to change, and I hadn't found anything at that point. I had just made the decision, that's it, I'm gonna find a way, I'm gonna find a solution. And that just sort of set me off on my journey of, you know, being led to, well, read this book and go to this therapist and try this and try that workshop. And that's what I did for the next 10 years. Now, I'm not saying it's going to take you 10 years, because everything that I teach really speeds things up for people. It's like I'm consolidating 20, 25 years of information into whatever I, you know, do, whatever program I share, whatever information is pertinent to that particular topic, I will consolidate all that information into that program. There's no holding back. It's like, here's the information, take it, use it, make the most of it for yourself, and get yourself back on track. So here's a question. How would it be in 6 months' time if you're here down in these bottom layers, if you were still there? How would that be? And how would it be if you weren't down here, if you'd moved up at least 1 layer, or maybe 2 layers, or maybe 3 layers? Healing is a very unique journey, and we never know how long things are going to take. I've had clients recover in as little as 2 weeks, and other people could take 6 to 12 months. And I'm talking from chronic illness. But we have to make a decision, and we have to start. And it's that decision that starts everything. So only you can answer that. Are you ready? Do you want to have a change? Do you want your life to be better? Do you want to be happier and healthier? Do you want to be the master of yourself? And if you do, then I invite you to check this program out. There's a few lessons that you can actually preview without even enrolling in the program. There's a few videos and one of the lessons. And then that will give you a good enough feel to know, yeah, this is right for me, or no, this isn't right for me. And I always say, follow your gut and follow your heart. If it feels right, do it. If it doesn't, then don't. Find something else. Anyway, if you do join the program, I look forward to connecting with you inside the program and on Facebook. And in any case, I wish you all the best.